Good morning, Giants. I'm going to call everybody Giants from my book, The Giants and the Smalls, The Adventure of Remy and Rit. I think every human being has the potential to become a giant. And so that might be my radio call, so to speak, is Good Morning, Giants, because I see the giant in you. Today, I will talk about something and give you a different perspective on something that maybe you've heard of. And I want to hear how this feels for you as far as what you think of this concept. Our most valuable resource that we have as human beings is not time. I'm going to say that it's not time. It is attention. And the reason that it's attention is because attention directs where our energy goes. And so attention is the channel of energy. And so with attention, there's something very important, and that's boundaries. Now, boundaries are kind of the canal, the sidewalls of the direction of our flow, and so the things we want to create in this world. And so with boundaries, what we're saying is we're directing our attention in a certain direction, and we want to be clear with people that that's where our attention is going. And that could be a person. You know what? I'm going to direct my attention to a person today. I'm going to direct my attention to a project today. I'm going to direct my attention to being a better human today. And so when somebody crosses a boundary, what they're doing is they're showing you that they're kind of showing you where your attention is going. If they come in and hit your attention and then pull it from you and you give it to them and it takes you off course, then you're waiting that they're allowing that attention to flow to them, and it takes you off what you want to create. I hope that's making sense. This is a little bit of a stretch here, but I want you to get the concept of your attention as the most valuable resource that you'll ever have. What you give attention to grows, whether that's positive or negative. And so the boundaries help us decide what we allow into our life. So if it's positive, we're going to create positive things. If it's negative, we're going to create negative things if we give it attention. And so boundaries help us stay directed. Does that make sense? It's like going down a canal. We get to decide where we put that energy, and wherever we put that energy is going to grow. And so a new view on it. I used to think of boundaries as I'm in the center and then a boundary is around me, kind of like a fence around a property. I want to shift that just a bit. So just think of it more of like a canal or a flow, a riverway, a riverbed, something that directs the flow of energy, and your attention is that energy. And so when you're setting boundaries, you want to ask yourself, is this something I want to give attention to? And if it is, give it attention. If it's not, starve it. So the way that, I'm going to go into our brain a little bit, the way that our neurons work is that whatever we give attention to, whatever we give energy to, grows. And so with our neural pathways in our brain, as you do something, it'll create a neural pathway. Glial cells will come in and support it and make it more and more efficient. And then as we use it, it becomes a non-conscious, unconscious behavior where we don't have to think about it anymore to do that. With attention, if we wanted to shift an old behavior that's a negative behavior and create a new one, we don't create a new one by feeding the old one. We starve the old one and we create the new one, and as we give it attention, it strengthens. So just think on that. I could show you places where attention is your most valuable resource, because it's the one thing that you've got that is creative, and you can give it to just about anything. I think of Ghostbusters when they're like, don't think of anything, and they're all trying really hard, and then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man shows up, and they're like, dude, who thought of that? He's like, I was trying. I was thinking if I was going to think it's going to be the nicest, biggest, softest thing that I could think of, and it ends up being this monster. And it doesn't, attention is indiscriminate. It doesn't matter. Energy is indiscriminate. It doesn't matter if you want to feed something negative or positive. Giving it your attention will make it grow. Does that make sense? I hope that's clear. If you can clarify what you want to give your attention to, then it's easy to say no to things that you don't want to give your attention to. And you don't have to be rude about it or do it in a rude way. You could just clearly state, I'm not committed to giving attention to that right now, but I am committed to giving attention to this. And it keeps you in integrity and it keeps you in capacity. Good morning, Ryan. So hopefully that is helpful. It's a new way of looking at boundaries. It's a new way of looking at your energy management, not time management, but attention management. Where are you directing your attention? If you want to grow, if you want to become a giant, you've got to determine what you're going to give your attention to, and then commit to that and give it to it. And when things come along to distract you, you get to say no. And that's where boundaries come in. So I hope that's helpful today. It's a new perspective, a new way of looking at things, and I hope you'll put that into practice. If you like the video, share it. Be sure to watch for the Kickstarter campaign for the Giants and the Smalls, The Adventure of Remy Ritt. That's coming up on March 17th. We're going to do a launch party on that. And then also check out the new book trailer. It's amazing. Ryan Morris is helping me launch this. Just an amazing human, helping me just get the word out. So you'll see posts from him and from me, and just follow along. So I know this is a little bit of a different video here, but this applies to every human being. Where you put your attention is going to grow. So what are you going to give it to? Comment below. Let us know what you're committed to, what you're attending, and I'll see you on the next video.